Hello my friends, today I have a collective luxury haul for you of a couple of little things that I picked up from Hermes that I've been meaning to share with you. And I also recently came back from London where I had the chance to stop by probably the best luxury outlet that I've ever been to, called Bicester Village, where I picked up some things from Loro Piana, Celine, and Thom Browne. I can't believe I almost forgot. So without further ado, if you'd like to hear my experience going to Bicester Village and see some of the new pieces that I'm adding to my collection for spring summer, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and keep on lost. So I think we should start with some of the little things that I picked up from Hermes, which honestly it's been ages since I bought something truly noteworthy from the brand other than my last bag. I really feel like that they've been doing the same things over and over again. They haven't launched anything really that interesting in quite a while other than leather goods when it comes to shoes and ready to wear, which are the things that I would normally buy for spring summer. I really don't think that any of their pieces were that interesting, that unique, that special to justify the insane prices at this point. And it's really not even that much fun going shopping at Hermes at this point because they never have anything in stock. You cannot order anything. Their pre-order has been a mess for the past couple of years. So I don't know, I'm just kind of curious to see what they get in for fall winter, see if the pieces that I pre-ordered ever get delivered, which I do want to do a video sharing my experience pre-ordering runway pieces because it's not nearly as straightforward as it is with other brands, but I want to wait and see if the things that I ordered from the runway ever arrive, and if they don't, what else I can find from the upcoming fall winter collection, which in case you're interested, the fall winter collection has started dropping. I think May 15th was the official launch date in Europe, so that doesn't mean that the entire collection will launch then, but starting May 15th you'll start seeing pieces pop up on the website and also in store. Usually they will start with shoes, then they will move on to ready to wear, then accessories, and very last bags. So if you're eager to add some new pieces to your collection for fall winter, you have to stay on top of your game, otherwise you're going to miss things because they really don't produce too much these days, and once things sell out it's very unlikely that they'll be restocked. So if there's anything that you want to see, keep your eyes peeled, make sure that you stay on the website, keep checking what pops up. But I wouldn't recommend that you really buy anything online. Reach out to your local boutique to see when and what pieces they'll be getting in. But we'll see. I don't have high hopes, but there are a couple of looks and a few different pieces that I am waiting to see if I'm able to get my hands on. But really, other than that, I haven't found anything really that unique or that interesting. If you guys are interested, I can definitely do an updated wishlist video just sharing with you what are the pieces that I have been asking for. But I have to be honest, there really isn't much because I have been kind of uninspired. But I think I mentioned this in a recent video of mine. I did buy just a couple of tiny things for the home. One of them I had ordered a while ago, which has just come in. And then the other piece is just something tiny. But let's start with this, which of course we have the iconic orange box as always. And let me show you this, which, okay, now I remember what's in here. So this is something that I had ordered a while ago and I completely forgot about ordering it. So when it came in, I honestly couldn't even remember what it was or what I ordered it for, but it is from the Hermes Mosaic collection in the platinum colorway, which is the main collection that I have been collecting for years. And this is one of the last pieces that I was missing, which is their creamer jar, I guess you could call it. I can't remember the exact name of this, but I really don't remember why I ordered this, but I guess I did, and I think it took about 8 months to actually arrive, and now that I have it, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it because I'm not going to put creamer in this unless I have a formal tea party, which the odds of that happening are basically zero. So I thought I'm still gonna take it since I ordered it. It's good to have. If I ever throw a tea party, this is something that I could pull out, which of course is going to match my tea set beautifully. And in the meantime, I was actually thinking about using it as a little vase because if I turned the beak backward, you couldn't really tell what this was for. I mean, yes, it's a creamer jar and you can kind of tell if you see the beak, but other than that, if you don't see that, it just kind of looks like a tiny little vase. So I thought maybe I could put this in my entryway and put a nice branch or a nice flower in there, maybe even a plant. So that's what I'm thinking about doing with this. Otherwise, it's just going to end up in the drawer collecting dust with the majority of my fine china, which I have not been using that much, but it is something that I picked up, and it is obviously from the Mosaic collection, which has become almost impossible to get. I mean, I don't remember what else I ordered, but I know that there are still things coming which I ordered month, if not years ago. So I guess it's going to be a surprise when they arrive. And then the other piece I picked up is right here, which is going to be another one of these mugs, which I shared in a previous video of mine. You guys know that I had been collecting the Mosaic collection in platinum for years, but unfortunately those pieces cannot be put in the dishwasher. So as I mentioned in a previous video of mine, those mugs got kind of discolored. They're just not the prettiest to look at. So I thought I could buy something that is actually dishwasher safe, because some of Hermes's collections are dishwasher safe, like this one, which is the so-called Soleil Hermes collection. So I started with one because these mugs you can buy on their own. You don't have to buy them as a set of two. And since I've been loving it so much, I figured it's time to pick up another one. So these mugs come in two different prints. This I think is print 2, the other one is called Soleil Hermes print 1, and there really isn't that much of a difference, but I just happen to prefer this print. As I said, it doesn't matter if you find one or two, they're both beautiful, but I ended up picking up another one of these. So if anyone comes over for tea, I have something that matches my cup. So I'm going to throw this in the dishwasher. Well, not literally, but I'm going to gently put this in the dishwasher so I can finally start using it. And I have to tell you, obviously I have been using this every day, multiple times a day to drink tea out of, and it's still in perfect condition. So if you're looking to add a new, more casual piece to your fine china collection, or if you're looking to add perhaps a pop of color to your home, I have to be honest, I have been really enjoying this collection. I never thought that it's something that I would like, just because yellow isn't really my color, but I felt that it's just the perfect way to bring a little bit of color into my home without breaking the bank. And speaking of buying multiples, I did have to pick up a few new refills of my favorite Hermes lip balm. Anytime these come back in stock, I try to pick up a few of them, just because you never know when and if they'll go out of stock and they won't be around. So I think I have 2 more of these that I bought last time, and then I bought 3 this last time I was at Hermes. I think they had 1 or 2 more, but I didn't want to buy all of them in case there is someone else out there who loves these lip balms as much as I do. In case you're interested, I mean, I have talked about this before, but I used the Rose Hermes lip balms, which are slightly tinted, and the color that I enjoy is called Rose Apricot, which is color 14. It is the most subtle hint of orange. I mean, it does look orange in the bullet, but when you put it on your lips, there is virtually no color. If anything, it just makes your lips look a little bit more lively, but it's not going to make you look orange. It's not a lipstick, it's not even a lip tint. It's just a really hydrating, nourishing lip balm with the slightest hint of a tint. And don't forget that Hermes lip balms are refillable, so if you have an Hermes lipstick or an Hermes lip balm that you've used up, you can refill it with whatever refill you want to. And if you're looking for a new lip balm for spring summer, I think there are 4 or 5 different shades in this lip balm, other than the original untinted version, which I have to be honest, I'm not a fan of. The formula is slightly different from the Rose Hermes lip balms, which I do think are a lot more nourishing and a lot more hydrating. But if you are looking for a new lip balm, these are phenomenal. Do you have to spend this kind of money on a lip balm? No, you do not. But if you want something fancy, if you want something really luxurious looking and feeling, Rose Apricot is by far my favorite color from Hermes. And I think it's time to move on to some of the pieces that I picked up from Bicester. In case you're not familiar with Bicester Village, it's, I think, a really well-known luxury outlet just outside of London. I think it's about an hour and a half outside of central London, where I had never been before. I went with a friend of mine who you might actually know from YouTube, When. I don't think she's currently doing YouTube, but if you don't, you have to follow her on Instagram. She has the best, most colorful style. I think you will really appreciate her aesthetic. So I went with her, who is a Bicester aficionado. So she took me around and introduced me to everything that you have to know about Bicester. It was a really great experience. They had some of the most incredible stores. So they had things like Dior, Thom Browne, which obviously I picked up some things from, Brunello Cucinelli, Celine, YSL, Louboutin, Jimmy Choo, Bottega. I mean, pretty much every single luxury brand you could think of had a store at Bicester, and most things were quite reasonably priced. I think the least amount of discount that I saw was at Dior, where they had actually less discount than how much they would have on pieces that go on sale in stores. I think they only had 35% off of their pieces. And then I did see some incredible deals on Celine pieces, even Gucci. Some of the things were 70 to 80% off. So if you're in London, if you're based in London and you've never been, or if you're visiting London for a while and you do have the time to go, I would highly suggest checking their pieces out. I would say that they didn't have too many trendy pieces. I got really lucky because you guys know that the kind of pieces I buy are quite subtle. They're more basic understated pieces, which most people would think are just overpriced for what they are. But because of how much I appreciate these sort of things, to me, they are worth the money. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, they usually have really sort of colorful, special, unique runway pieces, things that didn't really sell in stores because they are more of an acquired taste. They didn't have too many sort of trendy, hot pieces, which is thankfully not what I'm usually interested in. And I did want to vlog the experience, but I just had such a great time hanging out with Wen and her fiance that I didn't even think to pick up my phone. So I do apologize for that, but I will try to make it up to you by showing you everything that I got. So I think let's start with Loro Piana because that was our first stop. It's the boutique that I really wanted to go to, and I did buy a few different things. The prices at Loro Piana were really great. I have to say some things were better than others. I did get an amazing deal, which I'll show you in a second, but unfortunately they did rip the price tag off of everything, not only at Loro Piana, but at every single boutique. I'm not sure if that's the standard procedure that they do, but I don't have price tags on anything, but I'll try to remember at least an estimate of how much everything cost. But the first thing that I bought from Loro Piana was this pair of linen pants for summer, which they do every single season. They'll do them in different colors, but this is a Loro Piana classic with the pleats in the front. Some season they will spice these up and they will add a little sort of buckle on the side that allows you to adjust the pants, but these are just the classic pleated high-waisted Loro Piana pants, which are just the most beautifully cut and fitted pants. I mean, you know, when it comes to Loro Piana, the quality is just outstanding. I don't think there's another brand out there that has quality like Loro Piana. I mean, the way these pants and everything that they do is constructed is just mind-blowingly beautiful. Other than the pants, I did also look at Loro Piana's knitwear, which I feel like is what they're best known for. I mean, their knitwear is truly divine, but unfortunately most of their pieces were kind of spring summery even in their knits, so most of their things were either orange, some shade of yellow, or light blue, which are just really not my colors. So instead I ended up picking up a new belt. I do love Loro Piana's belts. If you're looking for a classic, simple, understated but beautifully crafted belt, Loro Piana has some amazing pieces. I think that they're best known for their suede belts, which they do two different versions of for men. So they do the classic suede belts, which I'll show you in a second, and then they also do a woven version, which is really quite summery, but I tend to prefer, surprise surprise, the more simplistic take on the belts. So that's the one that I opted for, which came in this little dust bag. And surprisingly, I didn't opt for black simply because they didn't have it in black. Instead, I got it in this really, really beautiful, deep, rich Bordeaux shade. Even though I'm not usually a red person, it actually looked incredible with black. So this is the one that I ended up going for, which is just a really, really simple suede belt. It is the perfect width for me, and I opted for a size 85. I could have done an 80 in these, but I do like when my belts are just a little bit longer. I don't like when you can only put your belt through the first or the second hole. I like my belt to go around a tiny bit more. I mean, it shouldn't be too long, but I do think it looks a little bit more sophisticated and a little bit more interesting if you have some material to work with. So this is the one that I ended up opting for, and I got an incredible deal on this. It wasn't only on sale at the outlet, but it was also on clearance, and then I think I also got an additional 10% off of this or something along those lines. So this belt I should have bought in every single color that they had it in, because I kind of regret not doing that because it was just such an incredible deal, and I know that this is the kind of belt that I will get a ton of use out of. You guys know that I love simple suede belts. I did buy one from Hermes in a really light sort of beigey tone, so having it now in red almost completes my collection. I think another color that I would love to add to my collection is maybe a little bit darker shade of beige, which is something that I will keep my eyes out for from Loro Piana, and maybe a navy blue, and of course black. I do need a black suede belt, which is not something that I currently have, but I am just incredibly grateful to have this now. And then the other piece that I picked up is something that I was actually looking for, because last time I was in London, not this past time, but the time before, I did come across a card holder from Loro Piana at Harrods that was made of alligator, so I had to ask if they had anything similar, and they actually did. They had the exact same piece at the outlet, but it was in a shade of coral, which just simply wasn't for me. So the other card holder that they had, which was a lot more simple, was this one. So let me show you. This again is something that Loro Piana does every single season consistently. The only thing that will change is the different shades that they come in. I love these really simple card holders because they are the easiest thing to shove in your pocket, or I will even put these in larger wallets. So for example, when I go on to using something like a Cali wallet, I won't actually take my cards out of something like this that I use on a daily basis. Instead, I will just keep all my cards in here, and I will put this in something like a Cali wallet or another larger wallet. So I love these. I think this is a great basic to have in your collection, and this is the one SLG that I am happy to buy in different colorful shades just to kind of spice up my collection. So I don't think, in fact, I'm pretty sure that this is the only color that they had this card holder in, but I couldn't think of a better color to buy this in because it is not something that I already have in my collection, and I probably never would if it wasn't for an SLG like this. But this is an amazing card holder. Again, it's something that you can pick up from Loro Piana any time of the year. It will just depend on what color they have in stock. They do come in different leathers, but I'm really happy that they had this because this is in the softest, most buttery. I wouldn't say it's a grain skin. It is probably most comparable to, I would say, Swift, and then it has a tiny little Loro Piana emblem on the front, which is just something that I absolutely love and I cannot wait to start using. One thing that I have been meaning to ask you guys is if you would be interested in seeing a brand deep dive on Loro Piana, just because it's a brand that I really like, but it's not one that I hear or see too many people talking about. You know that I do these brand deep dives. I have done one on Van Cleef. I recently did one on Moina and Delvaux, which if you haven't seen, I will make sure to leave my playlist link down below for you. But if you would like to see one on Loro Piana, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up, or if there are any other brands that you would be interested in, please do share them in the comment section because I love doing research and just creating these videos for you. I think that they are so much fun to make, and I also hope that they are helpful, especially when and if you are new to a certain brand. But this next brand isn't one that you're going to be unfamiliar with because it is Celine. Celine did have quite a small store at the outlet, but they had some pretty nice things. I think the most surprising thing for me to see was some of their caps, which are so popular, which they did have quite a few of, like their baseball caps. None of the colors I was personally interested in, but they did have them in some different vibrant shades. I think the one that I tried on was a bright shade of yellow, but I went for something really classic, and I have to show you guys this. I love the fact that their wrapping paper still has the apostrophe on it, even though it is the new logo at this point. But I did buy another pair of pleated pants, very similar to the ones that I bought from Loro Piana. Those are a linen fabric, whereas these are more of a full winter fabric because they are made of this really thick but quite soft wool, and they are just a really cool but really simple pair of wool pants that feature some pleats on the front, and they have more of a balloon shape to them, which is really interesting. Now, one thing that I did, which is a big mistake and I would not recommend that you do, is I actually bought these in the last size that they had. They only had these in a 44, which I think I'm usually a 40, 42 in pants. So it is just a couple of sizes too big, but I figured since it's quite an oversized sort of balloon shape, there is a little bit more room to play around with the waist. So I'm going to take these to my tailor and see if they can make them a little bit more fitted. I mean, I'm sure that they can. I'm just hoping that it's not going to alter the shape too much. So you should not buy things that don't fit you, no matter how good the deal is. It's something that I should have reminded myself of, but I got caught up in the sale, and what an amazing deal this was, because I think this was about 60% off. So it's not like I need these pants anytime soon, because they are quite a thick, heavy, warm fabric, but I'll figure something out, and of course I will have to keep you guys posted. And then the last piece that I have to share with you is from Thom Browne, which I was blown away that Thom Browne had an outlet. I had no idea that it's something that they do. Although I have to say that their outlet isn't the best. Pretty much half of the outlet is not really an outlet, it's all new collection pieces, because at Bicester you do have to pay attention. Some boutiques will have full price pieces alongside with discounted things, and that was the case with Thom Browne. It felt like that one half of the store was all new collection, and then the other half was dedicated to their discounted previous collection pieces. So I did buy a couple of little gifts, and then the piece that I bought for myself was this knitted vest, which was just really cool. I was actually looking for a cashmere vest, but I couldn't find one, so I ended up opting for this one, which is this really chunky, heavy cotton knit that of course features the 4 Thom Browne stripes on the side. It's something that I do want to buy a white shirt for. I did look at some shirts at the Thom Browne outlet, but most of them were full price, so I figured it's something that I can just easily buy online, and I will have a lot more options. But it is something that I could not leave there. I loved the details on the side, and of course it does have the iconic Thom Browne buttons on the hem. So Thom Browne is a great brand. I think it can be quite overpriced, so if you get the chance to go to the outlet, I would highly suggest stopping by their store, because it is an aesthetic that I personally really appreciate. But I cannot wear all of their pieces because they have a really particular cut and fit to them. A lot of their pieces are really quite shrunk and cropped, but they are really cool, and if you have the frame to pull them off, it's definitely a brand that you should look into, because their pieces are beautifully made, they are timeless, they are classic, and they are things that you will really have in your collection for a really long time. And my friends, this completes today's video, sharing all the new pieces that I picked up at Bicester, and also the couple of little things that I bought at Hermes. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And while you're down there, please do share your last purchase with us. I really appreciate you being here and watching, and I hope to see you back here with a new video really soon.